This could be us. Every day. V, look around. Look at them. They could be your family.
Panam, what are you...
Stay in camp. Join us.
You know what they say. If you're starting to worry about someone, it means it's time to go.
Yeah. That's a pilgrim saying.
Neither of us need to worry anymore.
Good night, V.
This summer got me invested into specific games. Dying Light 2, and Cyberpunk 2077. I started playing Dying Light 2 out of sheer curiosity, brought upon after watching the trailer for the game. At first glance I was impressed by the way the map looks in this game, with a whole focus on the environment, especially in the first scene. This is where the story starts. After meeting with Spike, you get to loot an abandoned house and afterwards find out that Spike tracked down Waltz for you.
I tracked down that guy for you. Quit pretending. You became a pilgrim to track that fucker down. Waltz. I found someone who knows.
From that point on, your adventure starts. Slowly, you get to Villador, where you meet with Hakon, and this is where I wanted to get. During my first run-through of the game, after finishing the Revolution mission, I thought it would be the best to leave Hakon to die, as he deserved it, because if you play this game wishing to grant Aiden's wishes, you'll most likely see Hakon as a traitor after the mission, not fully knowing what that would do to the rest of the campaign. If you decide to let him die, Aiden will get the help of Sophie, and later on meet Luan in a totally different context, to be exact, while running from Waltz. But if you decide to help Hakon, Aiden will get to chase after Luan and unmask her, revealing she was the sniper that shot Hakon.
Gotcha, fucker. What?
Why are you protecting that asshole?
Who sent you?
Fucking Santa Claus. This has nothing to do with you. You gotta pick your friends better.
Why are you hunting Hakon? Is this about killing Lucas, or...?
Tell Hakon that it's not over yet.
Hey,
But this is where it ends too, as she runs away. As I mentioned before, the next time Aiden and Luan get together is during the Waltz chasing, when she eventually saves you from him. Luan holds back a bit on presenting herself or telling Aiden why she helped him, but after the Waltz chase scene is when a quite important detail is revealed.
Why are you helping me?
Show me your arm. Come on. I won't bite. Well, not hard. We have something in common. I was one of that crazy fucker's subjects too.
Both Aiden and Luan were test subjects of Waltz. In fact, Aiden finds out she was the one he was looking for because of Dylan.
How do you know Dylan?
No is an overstatement. He contacted me because he wanted to escape the city and waltz.
Also, Dylan told me to find someone named Lawan. You know who that is?
Maybe we were meant to meet each other. The universe brought us together for some fucked up reason.
What?
I am Lawan.
This is where their relationship starts. Lawan is a night runner on her path to vengeance, an impulsive character at first, only looking for the revenge on the ones who wronged her in the past, that leading her into frustration whenever you try and calm her down or stop her from acting on her impulses.
I have my own connections. Try to stop me, and we're no longer friends, Aiden.
Killing Hakon won't help you, Lawan.
What the fuck do you know?
I know about the Night Runners. Frank told me. He spoke about balance and letting go.
He's one to talk.
But he has. And you could too. Can't you? Lawan, he said he wanted to protect you.
What is he talking about, asshole?
He said he joined Waltz because he wanted to spy on him.
Aiden, shut up.
But he had to stop because Waltz threatened to hurt you.
Bullshit.
I know.
Stop bullshitting me!
Lawan!
This is bullshit.
Slowly, Lawan starts trusting Aiden more and more, eventually getting him to the fisheye, where he meets the rest of the crew. After having a bit of a clash with Frank, Aiden gets to redeem himself to the crew when the renegades attack the fisheye. After the attack, Aiden meets Jack Matt, when Lawan presents him as her friend, showing her the progress in the relationship. Personally, this is where I got invested in the romance between the two, seeing as each mission was always a contribution between the two no matter what, making you the player more careful of the choices you make. But besides that, it made the player care about the character of Lawan.
Next? Didn't you hear? That database sounds long gone. So much for discovering the mystery of our childhood. I'll go back to looking for the shits on my hit list. And you? You can enjoy life in the center.
Maybe Ro's wrong. Maybe something survived intact after all.
The butcher dropped chemicals. The place was reduced to toxic rubble.
Are you giving up?
Are you deaf or dumb? Those chemical bombs destroyed everyone and everything they touched. This was a fucking waste of time. Frank was right. I am fucking naive.
What's the deal with those renegades? Why did they attack the canteen?
How would I know? Williams is a fucking lunatic, a butcher, and murderer. He killed half the city with a chemical weapon strike. Now he's ordering his men to attack civilians in the center.
Right after Waltz turned on the power.
Walt and that psychopath are buddies. I wouldn't be surprised if they planned that together as well.
I'm going to the observatory.
Then you're going alone.
So, we're splitting up?
All good things must come to an end. The butcher and the pricks from my list, they'll find this out soon enough. I'm going back to looking for them. You shouldn't stay here either. Aiden, I'm sorry you didn't find your sister.
Yeah. Thanks.
You've always got Waltz. He probably knows what happened to her. If I find him, I'll let you know. Good luck, Gajo.
Take care, Lawan.
Let me guess. He scarfed down 5 courses and had a hot young woman at his side.
A young man, but the rest is accurate.
He's a piece of work, all right.
Well, I need him to get back to work. Jack needs UV lamps and Juan's dragging his feet.
That'll be tough. Juan barely listens to Jack, so he'll be an even tougher audience for you. He has his own men and power base, and he loves rubbing Jack's nose in that.
And what can I do about that?
Same as everyone else. Bribe him. He likes fine art, antiques, expensive shit from before the fall. When he sees something that used to be valuable, he can't stop himself. Zero self-control.
Alright, where can I find something like that?
I heard of an old Polish guy who lived in a penthouse by Liberation Passage. They say he was an art collector. You can try his place. You can only get there via paraglider. That's why there's a chance something's left. I'll be on the radio and guide you to him.
A pivotal moment in the romance between Aiden and Lawan is the tower mission, when even though Frank warns her of the dangers of the mission, Lawan decides to follow you, an unexpected decision that emphasizes the risky ideas Lawan has when it comes to the ones important to her. In this case, going after Aiden in what seems like, in the eyes of Frank, a suicide mission. This leaves Aiden shocked and unable to change her mind. As you climb further and further, you get to the roof, and here, you decide to either give the radio control to Frank or to Juan. As the mission ends, it cuts to you on the roof when suddenly Lawan appears.
Hey, it's good to see you too.
Don't ever fucking do that again.
Hey, where did that come from?
You owe me one.
This is the moment that encapsulates just how much Lawan cares for Aiden, seeing just as how worthy she was for him. She hugs Aiden and then slaps him, confronting him for the risk he puts himself into, not caring about the rest and what he means to others, in this case, Lawan.
Shut up! Like I said, you owe me. My sneakers are ruined. I can literally feel the concrete scraping my feet. We need to get me a new pair. Let's go.
You want to go shopping for new sneakers now? Is this some kind of joke, or...?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Lawan, you said... shit. Lawan, it's not a sign of weakness to say you were worried. Can you at least tell me where we're going? Aren't a lot of shoe stores open in the area, I bet.
The romance scene is when we get to meet Lawan and who she truly is. This is the first time when Lawan opens up to Aiden about herself and also about the relationship with Hakon.
You just don't give up, do you?
You should know that by now.
You should know I fucking hate whimpering.
Saying how you feel isn't whimpering.
Fine. Stick around if you have to, but don't interrupt me. I'm busy.
You getting drunk?
No, you dork. Looking at the stars.
Hey, I can see the Big Dipper.
Aren't you brilliant? Except that's not the Big Dipper.
Oh, whoops. It was worth a try, though. You know any other...
Aiden throws some corny jokes here and there, but that only amuses Lawan. Like, for example, when they are talking about constellations, Aiden seemingly shows the Big Dipper only for Lawan to make fun of him when she corrects him. Even though it starts off with some jokes, during the romance scene Lawan shows that she's still hurt by the actions of her past, this being showcased through her uncontrollable desire to kill Hakon, which based on your choices can be achieved or eventually controlled, seeing as the scene cuts almost right off after you talk about him.
I used to hate her. Now, I'm so over her.
Let's get some sleep.
Aiden, if I see Hakon, I'm gonna kill him. Simple as that. Don't try to stop me.
It's fine. But you know revenge doesn't make you feel better.
This isn't for me. It's for Frank. I will avenge everyone who died that night. A lot of stars winked out forever.
Despite her drive for vengeance, Lawan is a romantic deep down, but still she doesn't show that side of her, rather closing off, keeping the same independent stance she took through the game so far. Eventually, she falls for Aiden, and that's to be expected, as both share the same ideals as I mentioned before. In my opinion, the next significant moment in their relationship is actually the epilogue. This moment is relying quite heavily on your personality as a player, the ending being totally different based around the choices you make here. So during my first run through of the game, I quite literally chose whatever felt right in the moment, not thinking about the repercussions. I left Hakon to die first off, but gave the broadcasting tower to Frank, killed Hakon completely, battled with the butcher, and lastly, chose to save Lawan instead of letting her blow the nukes up. As much as I loved the romance that built between Lawan and Aiden, I thought choosing those answers would actually be the best thing, but in the end, it pretty much wasn't that. Dying Light 2 has 3 different endings, and during this time I managed to get a worse run. The one where you live alone and leave the city destroyed. A way for the game to say you have to have a more selfless approach while playing. After finishing the game for the first time, I was surprised as I thought saving Luan from the nukes would lead to a good or actually the best ending. Continuing on this side, as I said, the epilogue is a crucial moment for the relationship. Finishing the final boss fight with Waltz, Aiden finds his sister Mia, and here you are left to do the big move essentially. Lawan gets the idea to strap some C4 on the missiles, hoping that would blow them up and prevent a catastrophe from happening. The true expression of love is shown here by Lawan's choice of self-sacrifice for the safety of Aiden as well as the city. The selfless actions of Lawan just get to show the way the relationship between the two has evolved, never thinking of her life afterwards or what her choices can lead to for her, only thinking of Aiden's future as well as the city.
No.
I know. Just take Mia and leave. You'll save her, Aiden. You'll find a way. I know you will.
At first you are left shocked, as you think she died in that explosion, only for the player to realize she lived and now gets to go with Aiden and continue the adventure together, as a couple.
Supposed to stay in the city.
Says who? I decided I wanted to stay with you. And not with Williams. That's for damn sure. Well?
This romance is important, as it makes it a true love story rather than just another post-apocalyptic zombie game. Putting an emphasis on human relations, it all becomes real and takes away from the base idea of it being just a game. Furthermore, this romance builds an imaginary bond between the two characters and actually the player, seeing as Luan and Aiden share the same wish, to find and kill Waltz. By doing this, the game indirectly plays with your personality, making you care more and more about Luan and the choices you make regarding her. Also, for me, this romance made the characters, the interaction between them, and all around the game unforgettable. In the case of Dying Light 2, the romance between the two main characters was like a powerful storytelling device that engaged me as a player even more in the story and what the game had to offer, making each side quest, or actually main quests, more fun and enjoyable. Also, with the addition of this romance, the story gets divided in 3 different endings, further emphasizing the idea that it was a powerful storytelling device, making the player more engaged in the story as to get the best ending possible. Without it, I personally feel like the game would just be another game, another story that you quickly go through in a matter of a few days with no actual significance. We all know the controversial release that this game had back in 2020, being filled with bugs and glitches. With that in mind, I still tried it back then, for a bit, but decided to abandon it shortly after. Eventually I forgot about it altogether, only to see the news back in February of this year that it will be patched and fixed completely. Fast forward to this summer, being bored and left with nothing to play, I decided to give it another try. I got hooked quite easily, especially due to the well-written friendship between V and Jackie. This friendship is unfortunately cut short after the Arasaka heist, where Jackie is critically injured but manages to give you the Arasaka chip, asking you to hold on to it for him before unfortunately dying. This marks the beginning of Cyberpunk 2077. In the vast world of Cyberpunk, one character managed to stand out in my eyes as well as to many other players, leaving a great impression. That character is Panam Palmer. Panam is a member of the Aldecaldos clan, a nomadic group. The first time we get to come across her is while she's fixing her car after being betrayed during a mission, you being sent there in hopes that you two will eventually help each other.
Thought this was mostly about the merch.
Fuck the merch. With that ride, I can take any transport job in town. Without it, only thing I can move is pizza. Maybe.
Cars in Rocky Ridge. You're supposed to know where that is. Cars there, goods are there.
Nash, you dirt-eating bastard. I will strangle you.
Nash Achumi yours? He hang you out to dry?
Do not call him that.
Fine. Partner.
Former. If ever. The shift tricked me. Straight nipped my truck and the merch. Probably now aims to sell it off in Rocky Ridge. Is he ever going to be fucking disappointed?
Rocky Ridge. Let's go.
Hang on. I should think this through. Fuck. Yes. We'll need backup. We have one brief stop to make on the way.
Wanna tell me where?
As you set out on the mission, you realize just how slow she opens up, being quite a closed-off person.
You know I don't mean the car.
What am I supposed to tell you? That I'm not about to let my partner rob me and get away with it? That my fixer made me look like a goddamn fool? What about you? Why do you need that clown from the AV?
This particular clown's got intel I need. And I'm running out of time to get it.
So why didn't she tell me she knew about Nash?
Rogue? Do better not to wonder what her agenda might be.
God damn, I can't stand the bitch.
At first, Panem doesn't really seem like a character that can become one dear to a lot of players' hearts, but you understand afterwards why she is so closed off to outsiders and Night City. A main reason would be the bad experiences she went through there, the betrayals, etc., and that's to be understood, seeing as she can't fit in Night City. To be blunt, no one can, but in her case, it's a slap in the face of what it means to be a nomad. All of a sudden, during the second mission with her, the internal turmoil seems to be exposed, when Mitch and Scorpion are attacked, leaving her vulnerable despite her efforts to mask that and what she truly is. You see just how loyal Panem is and how still deeply attached she is to the clan.
Sorry, but you're just gonna slow me down.
Fucking LV. Those are my people out
Listen,
there.
I get that launcher out of the way, I'll let you know. Then you go in and help me with the rest. Deal?
Yes, sir. I still have Mitch's rifle. I will try to cover you from here.
After investigating and managing to rescue Mitch, we find out Scorpion died during the attack. Panem doesn't back down, just showing how confident and just how set she is on getting revenge.
I mean it. I'll help you settle your score with Kang Tao.
I will destroy them, V. Every last one.
We're in this together. To the bitter end.
Sometime after, you get a call from Panem asking you for help. This leads to the mission of rescuing Sol, who was captured by the Rebel clan. Here you see just how much Panem hates authority and being told what to do, reminiscing of a time of a younger Sol that was more in the way Panem is now, risky with a more aggressive approach to ideas to the tribe,
moving civilians across the border during a bombardment, hijacking a petrochem tanker, opening the valves, cranking a few figure eights to set the desert ablaze and give the kids a fun show. That's the Saul I remember.
While present Saul is tasked with the leadership and safety of the clan in a much more reserved way, a calculated way, you could say. This rejection to authority might just show that she knows all along that Saul in this case has a point, but her impulsive nature would much rather take that as something bad. After the rescue, Panam shows just how deeply she cares for the Aldecaldos, as well as for Saul, despite the misfortunes and betrayals she went through in Night City that lead to the frustrations building up inside of her, mostly because of the position they, as a clan, are in, that didn't leave any chance for her to feel empowered to comfort this position before. With that in mind, Saul isn't her enemy, not at all. Panam Palmer is a romantic at heart, showing that in the decisions she takes, not thinking about the risk, but more so what's best for her and her family, the Aldecaldos. Her return to the camp later on makes Panam a more grounded person, focusing more and more on protecting and bettering her family. The progress in the relationship is seen from this point, as V is seen like family now. By now, Panam realized what she wanted and what her priorities are, letting her become the opposite of the dystopia that is Night City, a stance that she embraces fully. As I mentioned before, Panam is a romantic, so it eventually leads to her falling bit by bit for V, someone who can keep up with Panam and also someone who actually supports her even in the most craziest adventures.
See that? All lit up and blinking like a Christmas
Girl, you
tree.
wanted 11. You got 11.
Fuck yeah! Let's get out of here.
The romance between the two is a long process that takes time and work, making it more realistic than just another romance, seeing as Panam is business and family first, so you'll have to prove yourself to her family. The first interaction between V and Panam is strictly one for personal need per se, but it all changes from that point on, seeing as every mission doesn't actually reward V in his quest to fix himself. Rather, he gets to disassociate himself from the dystopian world of Night City and more get to see the world in which Panam was living. A moment where the romance hits a pivotal moment is when Panam calls V for help in stealing some Militech hardware using a train with the Aldecaldos. After finishing the mission, once again you don't get any rewards, but this represents an opportunity for Panam to reveal what she was feeling.
V, I wanted to speak with you.
Missed you. Pretty bad.
Oh, well, this means... Oh, wait, just wait. This is not how we usually talk.
No time like the present.
Okay, go ahead. That was a joke. Listen, V, I believe I know where this is going.
And not to your liking?
No, it's not that. I also wish to talk about it, just not so openly. My plan was to tiptoe around, test the waters, then retreat back into my shell.
Sounds like a plan. What went wrong?
It seems you saw right through me.
Didn't have a clue how you'd react. You're not the only one shooting in the dark.
I would not want to cock this up.
Well, that's a start.
The thing is, I usually act before I think.
Uh-huh, noticed.
I know. But I also need impulses to act upon. When I do something spontaneously, I feel I'm being honest. Yet with you, I prefer to play it safe.
Why is it any different with me?
Because I truly care this time. Yet I fear I'll do or say something foolish and be left alone in the desert. I would rather keep you close. If only as a friend.
Try following the impulse next time.
Okay. Well, in any case, you've been warned. All right.
She
Let's
feels
be
like
going.
V has helped her like no other outsider has done before, but due to her frustrations and shyness, this growing relationship with V seems like something completely new that she doesn't want to lose, and here V needs to show his support. Furthermore, the romance continues when V embraces Panam at a campfire, ending up sleeping together.
Grown kinda cold out here.
Not true. But this is nice.
Catch some shut-eye with me?
I'll just lie here a while, by your side, gazing at the stars.
Is that another area of your expertise? You got maps of the heavens in your library, too?
Of course. That's the Big Dipper. And do you see the small flickering star to the right?
Yeah.
You do? Oh dear. That means there's a major leak. Good night, V.
Later on, after trying the basilisk, Panem shows she took V's advice, revealing the romance scene. This intimate moment reveals the effect that V had on Panem's personal life, as he made her overcome the fear of losing the loved ones around her, showing the truest emotions she had for him, in a moment cut shortly by another attack on the ship by an enemy clan. Eventually, V's help is rewarded first off by being made an official member of the Aldecaldos clan, and later on by the clan alongside Panem coming together to help him in entering the Arasaka Tower.
Hey, ask Panam. She knows. It's about time we fix that. Downright injustice it is. It needs fixing. You're gonna be an Aldecaldo, which means this family will go to hell and back for you. Ready, kid?
Do your worst.
You're one of us now, B. You're an Aldecaldo, damn it.
Thanks for everything, V, and don't worry. We'll get you into that Mikoshi. Isn't that the way
Welcome
of
to
it?
the family.
A warm welcome for our newest Aldecaldo!
Don't like to say.
That's about time you did it.
No, like, I really don't. Never expected this. Thank you.
Don't worry. It's but a formality. You've been a de facto member of this family for a while now. You saved my rumpus, and as Bobby tells it, Mitch's too. I won't even mention Panam.
Go to hell.
Saul's right, though. I mean, let's face it, V. My life was in a million pieces. You broke it into a million more. But sometimes it's only then that you can piece it together again.
Before doing so, the two have a chat on the cliff, where Panem expresses the frustration brought upon her after being given the leadership of the clan, thinking she will do something wrong again, but V assures her that they'll go through this together no matter what.
Can't tell me.
Nothing's gnawing at me. Stop, this is irksome.
Panam.
Have you... I'm so tense I barely caught a wink last night. It's likely to be the same tonight.
What's eating you?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow I'll lead my whole clan to near certain death. As if that's not enough, Saul is suddenly concurring with everything I say. And I don't even know if that's good or bad. Fuck. People are doubting us. I can feel it. But they still believe if it all goes to shit, Panam will be there for them. Because who else, right?
You feel responsible for them. Who in their right mind wouldn't?
It's not the responsibility I'm worried about. I'm just looking at this with a cool head. Saul has made all the wrong decisions to be a little more like me. But only I know what I'm good at and at what I stink. I'm not a miracle worker, V. I'm scared to the bone something will go wrong. That everyone will...
Be right there with you tomorrow. Whatever happens, we'll be together. We'll manage.
I don't know what I would do without you.
You do what you needed to.
What do you know? V,
Yeah?
are you not afraid to die?
Not as much as I'm afraid for you. Come here. Any for your thoughts?
I'm thinking about the first night I spent up here. I've been on the road. Was on my way back and wanted to clear my head before hitting camp.
before another likely shouting match with Saul.
It was completely dark. Empty. Not a star in the sky. All I heard was the wind and a few engines in the distance. And I sat here waiting for the world to fall away. For my mind's RPM to drop to 0.
Did it?
No. I realized that night it wouldn't happen again. That my mind would always be on the road. Even while I was sitting, freezing on a cliff.
I could sit here with you all night.
I think I'd like that. You have no idea how much I needed that.
It's dust and chrome, we shall all die. Now for some good news, it's some good news. Good news is, something like a sandstorm this week comes.
I was. We both were. Bet you had no idea we'd end up like this, though.
The epilogue represents the evolution between the two, and just how much the two were intertwined, leading to a moment at the dam where V shows his gratitude to Panem for sticking with him through Mikoshi.
Panem, after Mikoshi, everything there. Glad we made it. Here. Together. And that we're leaving. Together.
Bid the city farewell. We won't see it again.
This debuts the beginning of the end, as they prepare to get out of the city. You smash through the tunnel and cross the border, revealing one last moment together with Panem. Both standing on the basilisk, looking at the horizon, getting ready for what's next for the two. This romance has turned the game from another RPG to a story of family, love and sacrifice. A story of overcoming your current state, a story of freedom. In this case, the Panem and V romance represents in a way or another the driving force of the game, that being attributed to the amazing writing skills of the team. Even though it starts off quite forced with the flirting attempts of V, it quickly shifts from that, turning into something complex. Like I mentioned before, the romance between the two takes time and work for it to grow into something that feels real and not forced, thus making the player more invested in the story, as you have to gain the trust of others for it to grow. Removing this relationship would have left the game empty, with merely no accent being put on the characters and their importance in the story as a whole. To conclude, putting some emphasis on the importance of love or romance, it turns the game from it just being another game that people would play and eventually forget about, to an actual experience, where each character is important, where each decision matters, where even the role of the player is quite an important one, as based on the personality of the player, the game can take different routes, leading to different interactions between the characters, different quests, and in the end, different endings.